Hello everybody, yes, how are you all doing? It is the Fredders93 here and welcome back to another edition of Football with Fredders, the weekly football chat discussion show here on the channel. Now we are going to take a look at something which may affect some of you personally in terms of like your own experience with it or experience of other people with it. But it's going to be taking a look at betting companies and football. Now, there was talk in the papers about 3-4 weeks ago that a blanket ban on like betting companies having a input in terms of like sponsorship of football teams was looking likely. Personally, I'm all for this, especially when you start looking at the statistics. With out of the 20 Premier League teams that we have, 8 of them have got shirt sponsors of a betting company, which works out to about 40% of them. Of the teams in the Premier League, and then in the Sky Bet Championship, that figure shoots up to 16 out of 24, which, in my quick maths, works out to be 2/3 of the works out to be 2/3 of the teams in the championship, or the equivalent of 66%. That is a huge amount of teams who have a betting company sponsor on their shirts one way or another. And with young fans getting into the game, it's not exactly looking great on it. I mean, I know that the clubs are not allowed to have the sponsors on a child's shirt if it's for like an alcohol or betting company or anything like that. But maybe getting rid of those sort of sponsors altogether, I know that they can bring in big money and big payouts for the teams that they sponsor, but people need to probably put their morals first, especially when it comes to football with YouTube as well. From most of the football YouTube that I watch, think of it sort of like HITC Sport, the Master Bucks, FNG, Docs, Jad HD. Like FIFA or football YouTubers, they'll be at the point where they have ads in their videos. Now I know there's not much that they can do about these, but more times than not, the adverts are there are for a betting company. For those that watch FIFA YouTubers, like the younger audiences for FIFA YouTubers, it's introducing them to that early on, which cannot be good for them sort of like further down the road. I mean, I know it's going to be hard to find sponsors which is going to be able to please everyone, even when some clubs sponsored by foods. Stevenage is well known for their sponsorship by Burger King and having Burger Kings on their shirts, and also Plymouth Argyle having Ginsters on their shirts. But Plymouth, you can understand, being from the team from around Devon, Cornwall, and of course Ginsters being big for the Cornish pasties. But yeah, that's just sort of like my views with it, with bits and pieces. It's gonna be hard to try and find like sponsors that can be universal for everyone, especially for the bigger clubs. But there could be a way. There could be a way. What else has been happening in football in and around this week? Oh yes, Liverpool have had yet another injury and another setback with their title defence in the Merseyside derby. Now there's no real sort of like thing we can probably like try and pinpoint for Liverpool's shocking title defence this season. Could it be the loss of Virgil van Dijk and everyone else they seem to have lost for injury, or, and this is what I'm going with here, could it be the fact that teams have worked them out? They haven't really changed much from last season, so once the other teams have got you worked out, then they can obviously adjust their tactics accordingly. And so maybe some of these shock results aren't too much of a shock as we thought when you come to think about it. In terms of thinking about the title, it is definitely City's to lose. Like, City are just on this unstoppable roll right now where even the top teams don't seem to be a match for them. Yeah, seeing where their next defeat is going to come from is going to be tough. Like, I honestly do not know where it's going to come from. Maybe against Mönchengladbach in the Champions League by the time this video goes out. Who knows? As the whole thing with Newcastle United, the whole situation with Newcastle United is just getting worse. We have currently witnessed 12 defeats in the last 16 matches. And surely if Bruce is not sacked by the time that Fulham and Newcastle have swapped places in the league, which could be after the next game because of Fulham's far superior goal difference compared to ours, then Newcastle, even saying this as a Newcastle fan, is going to be tough, but Newcastle are in some very serious trouble. Something needs to be done, and fast. We did things too late in 2009 when we went down. We did things way too late in 2016 when we went down. We cannot leave things too late again, because it's just going to be another case of history repeating itself. So Ashley, and if the unlikely event that you're seeing this, make the right decision. Not just for the fans of the club, but for your investment in the club. Like the price that you'll look to sell the club for, it's going to look stupid if we are a championship club at this point and you're still trying to charge that 300 mil. Yeah, those are just all of my ramblings for the week. Next week we're going to take a look at things a bit more detailed once we've gone through some of the Champions League knockout games. But that is going to do it for this week on Football with Redders. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Do leave that like, subscribe if you're new, follow our social medias, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now.